yeah, what is our next segment? Are we doing okay? So the requests only
Oh
poll
yeah.
was a Q&A. People want us to answer questions.
Questions. They want to ask us questions and for us to answer them.
So do we already have the list of questions, or
no, we don't?
So we need the audience to just start spewing them out. Then you guys need to do some
spewing
work.
out questions. Yeah.
In the meantime, I have a potentially new word for you all.
Oh,
listening to Matt's song made me gurn. Now, what do you think that means? And it's not a filthy word. Gurn. G-U-R-N. I would say it's specifically I would say people gurn a lot at that type of music. I did.
I'm gonna say if it made you gurn.
It did make me gurn.
If it made you gurn, it made you cringe with metal pleasure.
That is almost, I think, exactly what gurning is.
Whoa!
It's that when you make that face, just like,
yeah. Okay.
There's like this thing on Instagram going around, some picture of some young redheaded actor going like this, and it's like the biggest compliment you can give a musician.
Wait, can you do it one more time? Yeah.
Just make your whole face fucking contract because you're like, yeah.
That's the face that Carl Urban makes in Dread for the entire movie.
Yeah, just like from down.
Yeah.
Hey, he had to learn it from Sly, because Sly played that role first. So.
He did. They both, in terms of the face, because I've not seen either film, they both looked so fucking cool with their gurn faces on.
Okay, yeah, and I'm just checking the request poll, and yes, it is official. There's no actual list of questions. So definitely, everybody who's watching right now, we need a list of questions to answer. So
we have 2 so far.
We have 2. Okay, so wait, hold on. Let's wait. Let's give them some time. We'll do varied games, and then we'll
I love it.
Off with questions.
Great idea.
Right. So Gary's games today.
Time for some Gary's games.
Okay.
Gary Furlong.
So today's like a twist on a game called Switch. So the last time we tried to do Switch, I think it was between 2 or 3 people, and someone would say Switch, and they'd jump into the scene, but we couldn't kind of get the lags and stuff kind of prohibit us doing that smoothly. What I would like to do today, since the theme of the request only is asking questions about the Sound Booth Theatre crew, we're going to start with Jeff. And what Jeff is going to do, he's going to tell us how he started Sound Booth. At some point, myself or Justin will jump in and continue the story however we wish. After which the next person will do so and continue the story until it gets back to Jeff, who has to finish the story based on the new details that have been introduced into the story. Was my ideas.
Got it. Okay.
And then after which we could say, like, Justin, you could say how you started to work with Sound Booth, and we'll interrupt you, and the same with me until. Oh.
And are we going to continue to cycle? Am I able to jump back in if I started it, or do we just do 3 and then that's the story?
We can do 2 rounds. We can do a Jeff, 2 of us, a Jeff, 2 of us, and end on Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me reiterate. I'll start the story off.
Yes.
You guys continue the story, and then once you get back to me, I have to try and keep going.
The first time it gets back to you, you must keep it going based on what we've said, and the second time it gets back to you, you have to end it.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you want me to start off, and do we have a topic?
Oh yeah, how you started Sound Booth.
Okay.
And we would like you to tell the truth.
Okay, so I'm going to tell the truth about how I started Sound Booth Theater. So I had been ramping up my success, as a narrator. I had already signed up with Neven Ilyev and Shemer Kuznets to do their series, right? And I had just done Super Sales on Superheroes, so I was sitting on
Switch. So Jeff was sitting on a toilet one day, and he was praying to the gods that he could form a company.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to make this up.
Yeah, I am. I'm just basing it on what you told me. So Jeff's sitting in the bathroom and he took a, oh God, this is going nowhere. I'm really sorry. This is bad on my part. Jeff was sitting on a toilet and it developed rockets and it started to fly up into the air just out of nowhere. Jeff didn't know this was a feature of his house.
Yes,
But so
and as he was switch, as he was flying up into the air through the roof of his little home in Kansas City, Washington, he soared through the air and he realized that the noise around, when you're sitting on a rocket toilet, the noise is just absolutely insane when it's activated. And so he wanted to do something to make it so that he didn't have to hear all of that bullshit noise. So he came up with a system, a box that he could put around his toilet. And in that box, he would be able to bring other people who would also be able to talk and sit with him on this toilet. And this sort of like rocket community, like a community of toilet people that sit on rocket toilets and just fly up into the...
Jeff, continue.
Right. I mean, you guys get it, right? I mean, this is where I got the idea for the Tesla toilet. That's called a callback.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
this is where I got the idea for the Tesla toilet. But I knew that the government wouldn't just let me develop a Tesla toilet. No. So I started Sound Booth Theater, so that there would be a like a, what do they call it? A front to my business, so that everyone, so the government actually thinks, oh, we're just making audiobooks here, we're harmless little actors, and all we do is read books, but really we're developing a piece of space age technology that will change shitting history forever.
Switch.
Shall I go or you?
No, you go ahead.
It's you.
Okay, change shitting history for the future. Sound Booth Theater. That has been the goal for the entire time. So you see, like, when you look at these streams, you don't see our bottom halves. You think we're in booths, we're in offices. Every one of us has been sent a Tesla toilet to sit upon, because the goal of Sound Booth is to change shitting for the future. And so with that in mind, Jeff took that dream, he ran with it, of course made it from, we're making audio books, we're making fucking audio shits is what we're making.
Yes.
And so
yes. Switch. Audio shits is what we're making. You've heard audiobooks, you've heard deep dives, which also is a toilet term. And now we have audio shits, where you can hear your favorite stories, all with the comforting ASMR sound of bowel releasing goodness. And I mean, it all speaks for itself. Jeff Hayes is a visionary, a legend, and he really brought shit together. The end.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to bring it home. Bring it home then, Jeff.
So in the next, I don't know, 6 months, make sure you guys are...
Oh yes, all right, yes.
Sorry, this one's a
sample. This is a sample.
I can't even talk while this is happening. It's just, I have to let it go and laugh it out. Yeah, okay, it's done. So be sure to support us on the website.
Oh, I just girded for all the wrong reasons. Gurned, rather.
Oh man! I'm sorry, guys. This is why the Tesla toilet is necessary, because
oh god,
shits like those have to be recorded. They have to be recorded. Audio shits are the future.
Sound Booth Theater. Shits like those have to be recorded.
Sounds of the future.
Oh god, how you get that?
Oh, bless you, Pro Sound Effects Library. Bless your souls.
Oh, oh god, that's so
It's really filling out our sound though. I mean, we can
Yeah.
talk and it's just sitting in that high end, so
Yeah.
it's
Crystal clear.
yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. Thank you, Jeff, for that story. Let's do another one. I would say let's do just a round of just one round.
Yeah.
And Gary, why don't you call the switches for everybody?
Okay. Yep. Gotcha.
All right.
Just go in chronological order then. So Justin, you'd be next.
Yep.
About
Great.
how you start. And when I say switch, it'll go to Jeff, and switch, then it'll go to me. Switch, then it'll go to Justin.
And I'll end it.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So how I got involved with Sound Booth? Well, it is actually a kind of a weird, like, small world scenario where I started narrating just for fun. It was just a hobby, and I started posting narrations on YouTube. And I happened to post it on the right day when Jeff was scrolling down, and he heard one of my recordings, and he was like, oh, okay, this guy's all right. I've got a royalty share project that I'm not able to work on. Maybe this guy can work on it. And so he set me up with this author, Shauna Roberts, and I got to produce my first audiobook. And then we didn't talk for 2 years.
Switch.
2 years went.
Right, and there's a good reason for that. The nudes that Justin sent me right after that were just terrifying, I want to say. It wasn't the nude aspect of it, it was all the different types of food that he was wearing instead of clothes. That really, like, I just couldn't keep talking to him, and like feel comfortable. So like for a couple years, yeah, I kind of ghosted him on Twitter. Like he sent me like 70 messages, but I had, it was hard, but I
At
had to
least.
ignore him. But then the last nude he sent me really convinced me that maybe this is somebody who's going somewhere.
Switch. He was nude mostly. We say nude because the body was nude, but upon the head was a crown of pineapples, and the name of the email said, "Welcome to the Pineapple Princess." And that was when it really clicked with Jeff, because Jeff, of course, is the Mango Princess, because he had his own library of nudes that no one knew about. No one knew about the Mango Master, and the Pineapple Princess came waltzing in, and Jeff just felt a kindred spirit when he saw this final nude with the pineapple headdress. He sent his own Mango Master picture back to Justin and Switch.
And clearly, I mean, it was a match made in heaven from this fruit parfait, as we called it. We decided to go into business together, Parfait Productions, and it is since exploded. And you can find us. You can find us on the internets. We've got this little side thing called Sound Booth Theater, but the main thing is Parfait Productions, artisanal nudes, with locally grown fruits and confectioneries. We're moving into confectionaries as well. And I couldn't ask for a better a business partner. And once this COVID situation stops, we'll be able to get together and just
Complete the fruit cocktail.
Complete the fruit cocktail. Thank you,
Yeah.
Gary. Took the words right out of my mouth. So that's how I got involved.
Beautiful, heartwarming story.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're actually
Yes.
we're actually in the process of negotiating with Hollywood. There's a few people right now trying to buy the movie rights to our story, and
Right. Right.
it's a real
And
tearjerker. It's a real heartstring tugger, and we think it's worth a lot.
Clearly, Jeff is going to be played by Benicio del Toro.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Don Cheadle.
And I'm Don Cheadle. Right.
Yeah.
Wearing his Captain Planet outfit.
Yes.
I have heard Arnold Schwarzenegger is available, Justin, if you would like him
Oh,
play.
he sounds
Sorry, Don.
more, yeah,
Sorry, Don. You're out.
sounds just
Don, you're out.
yeah,
Imagine
all right, so
I'm the
Sorry,
pineapple
Don Cheadle.
princess.
Don Cheadle, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It's just the way it has to be.
yeah,
All right.
okay, wow.
Let's do another.
I love it. I love it.
Justin, do you want to call the switches?
Yep.
Okay, so how I got started with Sound Booth, I met Jeff at I think both of our first APACs, the Audio Publishers, what is it? Association conference. It's big audiobook convention. It was my first real year as a working audiobook narrator. Ran into Jeff, I'm not sure how, at like an after party thing, and all the Brilliance audio producers were there. So we went out to lunch with them. We had pizza with them. It was really cool. And then I think a year or two passed, and I, chatted with Jeff, knew Jeff. Justin says small world. I think the three of us were actually up for the same book one time. So I was chatting to Jeff about this new person who we'd never heard of, and then all of a sudden, then they started working together. And in early 2019, I think they got in touch with me and via the emails.
And we said, we need you to hide a body. Which at first, Gary, you remember you were a little bit hesitant about it, but we baited you with some audio productions if you could just do this little job for us. It worked out perfectly. Small world. Jeff had just done a hit in Texas, just outside of Austin, and he knew that you were there, and it just made sense. So we made sure that we paid for all of your equipment, all of the things that you needed, and we sent you on the road to we just gave you the keys to a car that had a body in it, and you had to figure it out. We didn't want to know the details. We just said, whatever you need. And after that, switch.
Well, after that, Gary took care of it like it was nothing. Like he does this every day. He was able to just run it right into. Well, I'm not going to tell you where it is, obviously.
No.
What he did, but we figured, man, he did such a great job with that.
Yeah.
Maybe this time he can handle a dead body. So
yes,
I actually this time when I actually had bullets when I went to the job to kill this person, so it wasn't like it was way easier for him because there wasn't as much struggling. There wasn't as much noise in the trunk, and so he's been our go-to guy ever since, right? Like being
switch.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said to Jeff when he said, like, let's try a dead body, it is much easier to eat a dead body than a live one. I mean, I didn't want to say this, like live in front of people. I did my very best with the first one, and he's mostly gone. But I mean, there's a flank, there's maybe a tenderloin of him somewhere, that I just couldn't get to. I'm a big guy, but I'm one big guy. But that other guy, segmented really nicely, got him in the freezer. Just eat. He was a big guy too, so ate off him for a few months, and then it's really been, that's what it's been for the entire time I've been at Sound Booth. Yet to narrate a book, but I will. I mean, I've got a little stamp card with some stars on it, and I got on the 10th one. I'm gonna get to do an audiobook, but it's a lot of hits and a lot of meals for me until then.
Yeah, great.
Oh yeah.
We have such fun
incredible
times here at Sound Booth Theater. Our origin stories are the best. All right,
Not
so
wrong.
I feel good about that one. That was
Who needs
a
a Q&A after that?
Yeah, we've answered all the questions already.
Yep.